So dyslexia obviously is a learning difference with various ranges. Okay, it has various different connotations, and it means different things to different people. There's a lot of misinterpretation and there's a lot of, let's say, misrepresentation of what dyslexia and other learning differences are. It can be letter reversal, it can link in with numbers. And for me, it was telling the time and understanding the concept of time. So it can be very broad from student to student. We did a radio segment last week over here in Ireland, and I was asked by the guest host about, just, I think it was just an understanding about reading or how I see letters and how I see words. So everybody's interpretation of what dyslexia is, even though there is way more awareness than what there was, varies greatly. So in terms of mind maps, not a lot of people know about this, but we've done an area of research and it's kind of being newly discovered at the moment. There's a set process for mind maps for students with learning differences. When we have smaller students that we work with here in Ireland, they have to learn off usually about 10 spellings every week and produce them on a Friday in a class test environment. Now, the students that have learning differences might be exempt or might not partake in this process. They may get less spellings, they may not do any spellings at all, and it can be very, very challenging. Obviously, that recall rate and memory rate is some teacher and lecturer strategies. So we run some programs over here with some schools and some universities. So if teachers are working with students with different ways of learning.
Habits are nothing, but it's a kind of a tendency where we try to settle in for something, where we create a pattern, where we create a routine. So it's when she also spoke about strategies which are related to writing. A child will not think on its own that I need to use colors, but if we actually keep some handful of colors in front of him, automatically he will learn to pick up that color and start, underlying, especially the one where he needs more attention, especially the one where he needs more guidance. Learning is like a puzzle, and it's a process. When I say puzzle, the reason I'm using the metaphor of a puzzle is for you all to understand small pieces of puzzle come together to complete a design.
Obviously, from a healthy and a food eating guidelines, we won't go through all of these. Hopefully, most of these are self-explanatory for most people. It is obviously very, very important that a student goes into an education setting, be either a university or in a school setting, while trying to, let's say, fill themselves up as much as possible. So with a healthy, balanced enough lifestyle so that they're not going in with lack of concentration already first thing in the morning. Regular meals obviously throughout the day, and I suppose that education of food. So we work with very small children on trying to educate them a little bit more about their understanding of food and what foods they should try and consume and what foods they should try and avoid. 5 T's for mental health and education in schools. So there's a lot bits of the writing, let's say, but kind of the main headings are the most important pieces anyway. So talking, training, teaching, tools, and taking care. So this is, I suppose, from both sides. So this is from students that have mental health issues, and this is then from teachers working with students also that have mental health issues, and also actually teachers maybe having an underlying mental health issue or a learning difference also themselves. The taking care piece is something we're really passionate about. So it's trying to obviously value themselves and often put themselves sometimes first, as best as possible, obviously within reason. But it's very, very important, obviously, if a student needs to perform in an education setting and then they're not taking care of their own well-being, then obviously that's massively affecting their results and their performance.
The children to work on their cognitive, to ensure that they are motivated, to understand and solve for their hidden behaviors, and to boost their self-esteem using all their receptors, because multisensory approach is also something which is a need of the hour.
These don't have to be that you have to, go on a holiday or, anything that takes a huge amount of time. And often we think that downtime needs to be a long period of time, where it actually doesn't need to be. If we do any small things, looking at art, seeing things from a different perspective, complimenting other people, that can have an immediate mood boost, let's say, an effect on how we perceive and understand things.